The Care Certificate. Standard 1. Understand your role. Learning outcomes. The worker will understand their own role. Work in ways that have been agreed with their employer. Understand working relationships in health and social care. Work in partnership with others. Tasks, behaviors, and standards of work. The duties and responsibilities that are part of your role will be listed in your job description. This will help to know your do and do not. Your role is likely to include providing care and support, working in a person-centered way, communicating well, building relationships, and promoting equality and diversity. Working as part of a team. Being a supportive team member and developing your skills to improve your work. Contributing to activities. In a safe way, keeping and filing clear records, keeping to regulations, following the agreed way of working. Respecting confidentiality. By not discussing any personal information on individuals or staff with unauthorized people, and storing records securely. Your work must always be carried out in agreed ways and must keep to regulations. Regulations are rules that come from legislation or laws. The legislation establishes the general laws of the land. Regulations provide the specific ways in which those laws are interpreted and applied. Standards and codes of conduct and practice. To be able to do your job competently, you must have skills and knowledge and work in ways that are set out nationally. The Care Certificate is the shared health and social care training, which must be completed and assessed before new healthcare support workers or adult social care workers can work out of their supervisor's line of sight in any workplace. The 15 standards can be found here. The Code of Conduct for Healthcare Support Workers and Adult Social Care Workers in England has the moral and ethical standards expected of all health and social care workers. The code can be found here. Competence. Having the ability and expertise to understand an individual's needs in order to deliver effective care. Discussion. The ways we need to work to safeguard the people we support. The skills and knowledge we need to be competent in our role. Care Certificate and Code of Conduct standards include how we should behave when we are at work, the moral and ethical standards that we must meet in all aspects of our work. Experiences, attitudes, and beliefs. Your experiences, attitudes, and beliefs affect how you think and behave. They can lead you to make assumptions, make judgments. Self-awareness and learning to understand the attitudes and beliefs of others can help you to work in ways that value the individuals that you support. Beliefs can be described as things in life that you feel strongly about, that guide you in your daily life, and are linked very closely to your morals and values. Attitudes are the approaches, opinions, and mind set that you have developed through your upbringing and life and learning experiences. Values, aims, and objectives. Understanding the values, aims, and objectives of your employer will help you to understand your role. Values. Values are the beliefs or ideals that should be evident in all aspects of the service you provide. Aims. Aims are the general goals that an organization hopes to achieve through their activity. The purpose of your job will be to contribute to achieving these. Objectives. Objectives are specific things that must be in place in order to achieve the aims. Rights at work. Legislation gives employees rights and responsibilities at work. Rights. To work in a safe environment and be provided with equipment to keep them safe. To have personal and sensitive information treated confidentially to equal pay for equal work. To fair terms of employment, including pay and working hours. What legislation say? The health and safety at work, etc. Act sets out the rights and responsibilities of the employee in the workplace. Employees have the right to work in an environment that is safe, be provided, free of charge, with the equipment they need to keep them safe at work. Employees have the responsibility to work in agreed ways that are safe for them, for others in the workplace, and for the people they support. If you have concerns about safety in your workplace, you must talk to your manager. You can find more information about the health and safety at work, etc. Act 1974 here. The Data Protection Act protects people's rights to confidentiality. It restricts how personal and sensitive information can be used, stored, and passed on. It applies to employees' information and to how they share the information of others. You can find more information about the Data Protection Act here. The Equality Act 2010 gives all people in the UK the right to be treated fairly and afforded equality of opportunity. This means that people must be paid equal pay for equal work. You can find more information about the Equality Act 2010 here. Protected. There are many pieces of legislation that set out what are considered to be fair terms of employment, including pay and hours of work. You can find out more about working contracts and conditions here. Responsibilities at work. Responsibilities. To work in agreed ways that are safe for them and those around them, and to discuss safety concerns with their manager. To treat other people's private and sensitive information confidentially. To treat others equally regardless of protected characteristics. Protected characteristics. The Equality Act 2010 identifies 9 protected characteristics or groups that are protected under equalities law. Responsibilities to the individuals you support. You have responsibilities to the people that you provide care and support for, including safeguarding their safety and welfare by ensuring their care plan is followed and that care is provided in agreed, safe ways. Involving the individual and their support network in the planning, delivery, and review of their care ensure that it meets their needs. Ensuring that their dignity is promoted and their rights upheld their rights. Supporting the person to complain or raising concerns if care is inadequate or rights are not upheld. Agreed ways of working. Agreed ways of working are the ways in which employers expect employees to work. This could be part of a policy, provided by your manager or colleague, part of an individual's care plan. Reporting errors discussion. Mistakes sometimes happen, and it is important to be honest and identify when errors have been made. What action should be taken? Why is it important to be honest and admit when errors have been made? What are the potential consequences of not reporting a mistake? Suggested activity. Can you think of a mistake you have made or see the scenario given? Scenario 1. A meal containing meat is given to a vegetarian. They don't eat it. What action should be taken? The meal should be replaced with something the person can eat. The individual's welfare is the top priority, and they should not be allowed to go hungry. The mistake should be reported in line with the agreed ways of working. Why is it important to be honest and admit when errors have been made? If a worker does not admit the mistake, the individual may miss a meal. This standard of care would not be acceptable. What are the potential consequences of not reporting a mistake? In this scenario, the individual may be hungry. A complaint could be made. Not eating could affect the effectiveness of medication, which has to be taken with or after food. Not reporting may mean that similar incidents happen in the future. If it happens repeatedly to the same person, they could become malnourished. If an unsuitable meal were given to an individual with allergies, it could have serious consequences. Scenario 2. An individual tells a worker that they have been experiencing severe headaches every day an hour after they have taken their medication. The worker forgets to make a note of this in the individual's care plan. What action should be taken? The worker must tell their supervisor as soon as possible. Why is it important to be honest and admit when errors have been made? The individual is experiencing pain which may be avoidable if medication is changed. The headaches could be a sign of a more serious problem. What are the potential consequences of not reporting a mistake? The individual will continue to experience pain. This is not an acceptable level of care if pain could be avoided. The individual may become reluctant to take their medication, which could affect other aspects of their health. The individual's care plan will not be up to date. Whistleblowing. Reporting things that you feel are not right or are illegal is known as whistleblowing. You have a responsibility to report concerns about the safety and welfare of all people in the workplace. You must follow the whistleblowing policy for your employer. Whistleblowing discussion. From the list, what should be reported as a concern, yes or no answers is circle. The health and safety of staff is in danger. Individuals are treated with dignity and respect. The environment is being damaged by work activity. Wrongdoing is being covered up. The individual care is inadequate, but they cannot or will not complain. Care plans are reassessed and update regularly. Your manager is being involved in the abuse of individuals. Who might you report to? Your manager and supervisor, the local authority, the Quality Care Commission, the police. Working in partnership. In your role, you will be working with people in a variety of roles. This is known as partnership working. Working relationships fall into 4 groups: individuals and their friends and family, your colleagues and managers, people from other workplaces, including advocates, volunteers and community groups. Advocate is a trusted, independent person who can speak and act for the individual. They can advise on matters such as benefits and can ensure that the individual's voice is heard in care planning meetings, making sure that decisions are made in the interests of the individual. The role of advocates and advocacy services are made more important with the CARE Act 2014. Effective partnership working. The effectiveness of partnership working affects the quality of care delivery. Skills and values necessary for it to be effective include communication, choosing appropriate ways of communicating, language, and avoiding jargon. Workers may need to use interpreters, communication aids, etc. to communicate effectively. Record-keeping information must be understandable, accessible, and shared with those who need to know and up to date. Trust workers must build working relationships based on trust, as this helps to promote openness and honesty, and so that everyone is confident that they can rely on the people that they are working with. Respect workers must always work in ways that promote respect. All those involved in partnership working play a valuable part in planning and providing care. Respecting the part that each person has to play helps to promote effective partnership working. Effective partnership working. Conflicts and disagreements can affect the quality of care provided. Seek advice from managers and colleagues who have the experience to help and advise you. Working well in partnership. Good quality care. Meets all the individual's needs. Failings in partnership working. Poor standard of care. Often identified as a factor when things go wrong. Knowledge check. Which of the following statements about rights and responsibilities is true? The law states that your employer can choose how they treat you. You have legal rights and responsibilities when you are employed. You can behave however you want in the workplace. The law does not apply to people who work in agreed ways. B. You have legal rights and responsibilities when you are employed. Which of the following is important for effective partnership working? Whistleblowing. Keeping relevant information to yourself. Open and honest communication. Making judgments based on your past experiences. See open and honest communication. What should you do if you are concerned that one of your colleagues is mistreating an individual they are providing care and support for? I should keep quiet and not complain. I should discuss my concerns with the individuals that I support. I should report concerns to the Care Quality Commission immediately. I should report my concerns to my manager. D. I should report my concerns to my manager. Why might you choose these answers? Feedback answers to questions and answers. A. Agreeing a PDP is part of an ongoing process of learning and development to improve your skills and knowledge, which may be informed by you reflecting on your own practice. B. Feedback from others can be helpful in developing your skills and knowledge, but it is not part of reflection on your own work. C. Giving constructive feedback to others can help them to improve the ways in which they work, but it is not part of reflecting on your own work. D. Reflection is a form of learning and development in which workers think about what they have done in the past. By thinking about how they could have done things differently to get a different result, they can learn from past experiences and improve the ways in which they work. Thank you. Let's move to the next standard.